All right. Good evening, everyone. My apologies for being a little tardy. It was my fault. I didn't have connection. This is the Board of Selectmen meeting, also acting as the Wage and Personnel Board of September 20th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Actually, it's 5:05 p.m. Is there anyone recording the meeting other than LakeCAM? Okay. So agenda item number 1, in accordance with provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, the September 20th, 2021 public meeting of the Lakeville Board of Selectmen will be held remotely. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM, and you do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will also be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at www.lakecam.tv/. So I know we've had some changes to the agenda today. Ari, we were going to start.
I believe you talked about starting with number 6.
So we're going to start with agenda item number 6.
Madam Chair.
Yep.
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
We have all these firefighters, new firefighters.
Yep.
Why don't we just do those first, and so they don't have to hang around and listen to us for half an hour?
We could do that. Won't take us long. So that is agenda item number 3. Okay. All right, so we will have some introductions of some new full-time firefighters, and Chief O'Brien, I will ask that you take that away for me.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, recently we had a retirement and a departure in the department, and we had a recruitment program, and we had some pretty decent applicants, some great applicants actually. And I'm presenting to you 2 new full-time employees. And I'm also presenting 3 additional on-call firefighters who are identified in the hiring process. They were great candidates, and they live locally, and they're a great addition to the department. So first, I'd like to introduce you to Jason Kirby. He lives in New Bedford. He was a full-time employee of New Bedford EMS. He's a newly certified and licensed paramedic. He comes from a firefighting family, brings to the table quite a bit of positivity and good energy. He's also done a ride-alongs with Lakeville, so he's become familiar with our employees and our staff, and we were happy to grab him and bring him into the fold. I'd also like to introduce Josh King as a full-time employee. Josh King comes to us by way of Bristol Fire Department. He's an 11-year veteran of Bristol Fire, and he's also a company officer. He was newly certified as a paramedic, and he's definitely a great catch for the Lakeville Fire Department. I'm pretty excited to have him on board. He's somebody I've watched perform on scenes for many years. I'd like to introduce Mr. Dustin Makowitz, who's a Middleborough resident. He is an Army veteran, Corps of Engineers. He has deployments to Haiti, Kuwait, and Iraq. He's also an electrician. One of these nuts and bolts, practical skill guys that you love to have in your department. And I can't wait till he gets into the Call Vol Academy and starts to develop as a firefighter. I'm pretty excited about him coming on. Mr. Mark Regan, who's a Lakeville resident, who's in paramedic school currently and is testing in January. Mark is obviously a very intelligent young man. He works for Brewster Ambulance full time, and he brings an enthusiasm and great attitude to the job, and we appreciate having him coming on board. Finally, we have a new business owner, Mr. Blake Williams. He has a business right here in Lakeville, next door to the town hall. He's a former police officer. He's also an Army veteran, and was part of many deployments as well. and he's currently working on his bachelor's in logistics and operations. And he's also brings a mature and very enthusiastic presence to the department. I'm pretty excited about all of them coming on board.
Right. So because you, as a strong chief, have the authority to do these hires, there's no motion or vote for us to take, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. So, but in Lakeville, though, traditionally, we try to, be like a family whenever we can. So I'll take the first opportunity to welcome all 5 of you to Lakeville. I think that you'll find that it is a really nice community to work in. And I know the chief has some pretty high standards, so it must mean that, you're all a cut above the rest. So welcome to all 5 of you. I always say this next part, if we were in person, this would be when we get to shake each other's hands. And perhaps you could take pictures with your families, but we'll have to wait a little bit for that. So welcome to Jason Kirby, Joshua King, Dustin Makowitz, Mark Regan, and Blake Williams. Selectman LaCAM.
No, I think you said it all there. I think it's important, and I know the chief is working very hard to get the fire department up to full staffing, especially in the call firefighter area, which is very difficult today to keep it at the level I know that he went once. And welcoming the 2 new full firefighters, it's great to see the 2 people that have a lot of experience, and we're glad that we're able to hire those firefighters. So thank you.
Yep, I'm very excited. So welcome to everyone. Does anyone want to say anything? You can go in order. I don't know. Anybody? Everyone's still muted.
Oh, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity, and especially those kind words you said, Chief. It's definitely appreciated, and looking forward to my career building with the Lakeville Fire Department. And already I see that it's a great family. I mean, everyone's ready to take you under their wing and teach you as best they can. So there's definitely great veteran leadership there, and definitely looking forward to the future. And thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dustin. Anyone else?
I would like to just say thank you guys as well. I'm excited to be getting on board with the department and getting to know Lakeville a little better. But I'm definitely excited and grateful for the opportunity you guys have given me.
Great, thank you.
Just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity, and hopefully I can bring something to the community as a business owner and as a call firefighter.
Great, nice to have you.
Yes, I also would like to say thank you. Very excited to start my career with the Lakeville Fire Department. It's a great town, and I'm just very excited to have this opportunity.
Great, thank you.
And I just want to echo what everyone else said. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm excited, just as I'm about to finish my paramedic education, to have the chance to learn from the great medics I've already met at Lakeville Fire is pretty exciting. It's a pretty rare opportunity, so
yeah,
really appreciate it.
Great. Welcome to all, and Chief, thank you as always for, I know you're very diligent with your hires, and sounds like it's going to be great. Thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you guys. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for welcoming my new firefighters to the town. It's appreciated.
Thanks. All right, so we're going to go to number 6. I think I'm going to try to raise my chair. So there we go. All right. Number 6, agenda item number 6. So we have to review and vote to place the articles on the special town meeting warrant November 8th, which is going to be November 8th, 2021 at the high school, at Pontiac High School. So Selectman LaCAM, I think our plan is to do these individually, correct?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Okay. Do you want to do the first couple?
Yeah.
Or how do we want to do this?
Madam
Well, we can
Chair,
say the warrant was opened. Oh, I can't remember what the date was, but the warrant has officially been opened.
I think it
do we
was
have to-
September 7th, I think,
Yep,
and then it closed on the 14th.
yep.
Okay.
So this is what we have for,
It opened on the 30th, I believe. It closed on the 7th.
Oh, you're right. Excuse me.
okay. All right,
Madam Chair, if I might make a suggestion, it's
Yep.
entirely up to you, of course, but this is just a vote on the, so this is just a vote on the articles, and there'll still be a vote on the final warrant on the 12th. If you wanted to waive the readings, you could.
okay. All right, so I guess,
Your call, just in interest of time.
yeah. Plus the packet's been posted too, so if anyone at home wants to see it, they can log on and see it.
I have a couple suggested amendments as we get to them, but I'll
Okay, all right, so I guess we can do Article 1. Is to see if the town will vote a transfer for the sum of $423.37 from free cash and $155 from park retained earnings to pay for the following unpaid bills for the prior fiscal year, or take any other action in relation thereto. It's just some transfers. So we're going to make that Article 1, is that correct?
correct.
Okay, so do you want to make these motions, Rich? Because Lorraine's not with us, so I'm going to have to step down.
Okay, I make a motion to see if the town will vote to transfer the $423.37 from free cash, $155 from park retained earnings to pay the following unpaid bills from prior fiscal year. Number 1 is town offices, Rico, copy services, $353.37. Police, auto repair, state inspection, police auto repair, state inspection, $35. And the park department, Mr. Cesspool, $155 for a portable restroom rental, for a total of $578.37.
Okay, so stepping down and seconding the motion. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Fabian, aye. The
Article number 2, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate from taxation the sum of $67,000 to transfer.
That was the one I was going to suggest you amend.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So the suggestion was to add $20,000 to, for the housing production plan.
Okay.
okay,
So that would be still 87,000 from,
Correct. Correct.
from tax.
okay,
Yep.
And, okay, so that's it, right? So the
Yeah.
total amount would be 102,000 and not 82,000, right, Ari?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Article 2, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate from taxation the sum of $87,000 to transfer from septic loan fund, the sum of $15,000 to supplement the appropriation stated below that were previously voted in Article 1 of the May 10, 2021 annual town meeting for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2001 for various departments or take any action thereof. The first one is selectmen administration salaries, to increase that by 62,000 to supplement the funding for the assistant town administrator and town planner. Number 2 is the treasurer collector salaries, to reduce that by $9,500. The new treasurer slash collector started and is going to start mid-October. Next one is treasurer collector expenses. The interim treasurer collector contracted services of $9,500. Next one is the cable TV advisory expenses, $5,000. Verizon contract negotiations. And Next one is debt service principal of $15,000 from the septic loan program. And then the $20,000 is going to come from,
Could either be selectmen expenses or planning board expenses.
selectmen expenses
Yeah.
of $20,000 for a total of $102,000.
Stepping down in second. Any discussion on that one? Okay, all those in favor?
Camera eye.
Baby and I. So now we have the Assawamsett School renovation.
No, one more.
For that,
Yeah, one before that.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed it.
okay, that's Article number 3, to see if the town will vote to rescind the borrowing authority for $95,163, which was constitute the balance that is not going forward to be borrowed from the police station construction. Article 9 of the June 12, 2017 annual town meeting.
Okay, second, and any discussion?
No, it's
And-
just money that we didn't need, that's all.
Yeah. Okay, all those in favor?
The camera eye.
Baby and I on that one. Okay, so now we're on the Assawamsett School renovation.
So, Madam Chair,
Yep.
on this one, you should amend, you should strike the words between borrowing and for, the first and second line. Should be borrowing, instead of, it should be borrowing authorized by the district, should be borrowing for the purpose of paying costs. Because it'll be the town that'll be issuing the debt
So borrowing,
for the purpose. So strike authorized to district.
Yep.
Yeah.
Authorized by the district,
authorized,
by the
By the
Freetown
district.
Lakeville District.
Right.
okay. Okay,
Okay. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, what's that? Article 4.
Yep.
To see if the town will approve $90,000 borrowing authorized for the purpose of paying for Assawamsett Elementary School repairs, feasibility study through schematic design, and for which the district, is that okay, the district?
Oh, for which the town, thank you. Yeah, good catch. Yeah, a couple of places where it says district should be town.
Okay, should be eligible for school construction grant from Massachusetts School Building Authority, the MSBA, set amount to be expended at the direction of the
Board of Selectmen.
Board of Selectmen. Why are we making these things so complicated, Rick?
okay. All right,
We're not finished yet, sorry.
yeah,
I'll
we're gonna
replace
read the whole
district with
thing.
town. I'll replace district with town wherever it appears. It's fine.
Okay,
Okay,
so the MES Street Grant Program is a non-entitled discretionary program based on need as determined by the MSBA. Any study costs of the town incurred in excess of this grant approved by and received by the MSBA shall be the sole responsibility of the town and it's the town, period.
Yep.
Any grant that the town may receive from the SBA for the study shall be set forth in a feasibility agreement and may be executed by the town and the MSBA.
Good, thank you.
okay. Stepping down a second. Discussion, please.
Leah, do you want me to jump in? Superintendent of Schools,
Yes,
Richard
please.
Maderas.
Yep, thank you,
Ari
Mr. Maderas.
Thank you. I have with me here tonight, Kara Lees, the Director of Finance, and also Director of Facilities, Greg Goodwin. As has been stated, Ari and the board and the town of Lakeville have supported our statement of interest as part of the 2021 Accelerated Repair Program. We're in the process of hopefully securing that in the next month. They'll notify us, but this is part of that step in process. And by allowing us to do that, we have looked at similar projects. And Ari, as the town administrator, has been part of that process, working with my Director of Finance. I'd be happy to answer any specific questions. It's long overdue work and continued support by the town of Lakeville to support the elementary school at Assawamsett, which continues to see a growing enrollment. The $90,000 is consistent with previous projects in MSBA, similar scope and sequence. So I'll defer probably to Kara and Greg if there are specific question board members have, but I do know the town administrator and the board have been made aware of the MSBA's support of this commitment and believe that this figure is consistent with what we would need.
Okay. Selectman LaCamera?
Madam Chair, just so we clarify that this is just the design piece. This isn't the cost of actually doing the project. So
Yeah.
everybody understands that. And I know
Yeah,
that Rick,
it's-
Kara, and Ari understand that. So
Yeah, it's just the design, and I hope we get a good design for 90,000. I know stuff's expensive, but do we know what the scope of work we're looking for the school, or?
So based upon our virtual and our in-person visit, the MSBA would be looking to do window and doors replacements, I believe. But I'm not quite sure what the actual scope will be until they do the design work. The designers are actually selected by the MSBA through their procurement process. $15,000 of the design is for the owner's project manager, and the remainder, the $75,000, would be for the actual designer.
Okay, do we know when that design is going to be completed, or?
So it would be required to be appropriated within the 60 days after the invitation, and it would be required to be completed within 12 months following the invitation.
Okay.
And we anticipate that, sorry, Lee, we anticipate that invitation in October. So just going out to 60 days and 90 days from that time frame, the the MSBA board meeting in October.
Okay, so where we're going to town meeting, folks may not. Sometimes, we expect tons of questions, we get none. Other times we think some things are just, not very exciting, and people ask tons of questions. So if we could just have, just someone there. I know the school always sends a representative, but just to be sure we can get people's questions answered.
Ms. Fabian, absolutely. We're on our home court there, so we literally are there. So that should not be an issue, that we will all be present and available to answer specific questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ari, anything from you on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, anything else, Rich?
no,
All right, all those in favor?
on the camera, aye.
Fabi and I. All right, thank you, everyone from the schools.
Thank you, folks. Thanks for the
Thank
continued
you.
support.
Yep.
Take care.
Thank you. All right. Now, the next two are articles that have been requested by the town clerk, I believe, but so this would be Article 5.
Okay. Article 5, to see if the town will vote pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 110A, to allow the office of the town clerk to remain closed on Saturdays and to treat Saturday as a legal holiday for the purpose of calculating the time frame for filing or taking any action required by law or take any other action relative thereto.
Okay, stepping down a second. Any discussion on this? All those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. Next, number 6. Okay. You want me to do this one?
You can if you want to.
Okay. Article 6, to see if the town, stepping down as chair, I make a motion to add this, to see if the town will vote to amend Lakeville General Bylaws, Chapter 2, by adding the following new section 18. Articles seeking special legislation to provide as follows. To enable adequate time for review, no article appearing on a warrant for an annual or special town meeting requesting a petition to the general court to enact special legislation shall be in order for consideration by town meeting unless the text of the special legislation sought is included as part of the article or as an appendix to the warrant, or is on file with the town clerk at least 14 days prior to the date of special town meeting and 7 days prior to the date of an annual town meeting at which it will be considered or take any other action relative thereto.
Second the motion.
Any discussion on that one? All those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. Next, we have the Community Preservation Act. So when we say we can rate, the next couple get really long here, so do we want to waive the reading of these, Rich, or?
Um,
I don't mind reading it. It's fine.
Madam Chair, we probably only can do one more, and then we're gonna have to go to the public hearing at 5:30. Okay.
Yep. So, okay, I'll do this quick. So, Article 7, make a motion to put this on the warrant to see if the town of Lakeville will vote to accept sections 3 to 7, inclusive of Chapter 44B of the General Laws of Massachusetts, also known as Community Preservation Act, hereinafter the act, and beginning in fiscal year 2023 to assess a 1% surcharge on real property for the purpose permitted by said act, which includes enabling the town to, 1, acquire, create, and preserve open space, which includes land for parks, recreational uses, conservation areas, and the protection of drinking water supplies. 2, create and rehabilitate local parks, playgrounds, and athletic fields. 3, acquire, preserve, rehabilitate, and restore historic buildings and resources. And 4, create and preserve affordable housing. And further, to adopt the following exemptions from the surcharge: A, property owned and occupied as a domicile by a person who qualifies for low-income housing or low or moderate income senior housing in the town of Lakeville as defined in Section 2 of the said act. B, $100,000 of the value of each taxable parcel of residential property, and C, $100,000 of the value of each taxable parcel of Class 3 commercial property and Class 4 industrial property as defined in General Law, Chapter 59, Section 2A. Taxpayer receiving a regular property tax abatement or exemption will also receive a pro rata reduction in the surcharge or take any other action relative thereto.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
LaCAM, aye.
Fabian, aye. Okay. So we're going to have to open the hearing at 5:30. Because that's when we're scheduled for. So I guess we can come back to this after. So, still at 5:29. Does everyone else have 5:30? Or am I the only one?
5:30. I got it.
Okay. So it is 5:30, and this is a public hearing for propane underground storage tanks for Lakeville Island LLC, address 57 Long Point Road.
I
So the
make a
proceed.
motion. Oh, excuse me, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can do that.
I make a motion to open the hearing for the propane gas underground storage tank hearing for Lakeville Island LLC for the property located at 57 Long Point Road.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor
Madam Chair,
to open the hearing?
you keep the hearing open and then,
Okay, we don't need to vote to open the hearing?
no, we're all, I made the
Okay.
motion, then we're gonna vote to close the hearing when we're done.
Okay, all right, so, you know, this part here, ask if anyone will be testifying. It's really kind of hard to do it via Zoom, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to swear people in. I see a few people here. I don't know. Okay, there we go.
Hi, my name's Peter Hasselbus. I'm from Osterman Propane, here to answer any follow-up questions you guys may have.
Thank you. If anyone else could unblock themselves if they're here for this hearing, that would be great.
My name is Peter DePerna. I'm with Stantec. We
Okay,
were design engineers of record.
okay. So in order to do to do any speaking, the chair will recognize anyone who wants to speak or testify on behalf of, on this hearing. And all comments, please go through the chair. If there is anyone that would like to speak right now, actually, I'm just going to read the advertisement into the record. So pursuant to Chapter 148, Section 13 of the General Laws, the Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, September 20th, 2021, on the application of Lakeville Island LLC to store 24,000 gallons of propane gas located in 12 2,000-gallon underground storage tanks at 57 Long Point Road, Lakeville, Massachusetts. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, relating to the 2021 novel coronavirus outbreak emergency, the September 20th, 2021 public meeting of the Board of Selectmen shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM. Meeting will also be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at lakecam.tv/. So that was the official posting. So who would we have that would like to speak on this? No one?
Somebody should give an overview of the project, please.
Yeah.
Peter?
I guess, Peter, you're the
Yep.
one that has his screen on, so.
I was looking
Alright.
for Kevin Klein is also here. I don't know if Kevin, it looks like it's on mute. Kevin was taking the lead on this, but and also you have
Whoever
Nick
wants to.
Kelly from First Colony, who's the owner. Maybe
Yeah,
he wants to
so,
jump in and give us a better overview.
I mean, it would be great if these folks could please unblock themselves so we can see them. It's difficult enough to do this via Zoom sometimes.
Yeah, so this is Nicholas Kelly speaking on behalf of the ownership group. What we got going on is a, two-phase, 33-unit condo association going on at 57 Lake Point, the old Island Terrace nursing home. And, we have to get in front of the Board of Selectmen today to make a decision on the propane. We don't know if there's another alternative source to power the site, but in our minds, the project is coming along very well. I don't know if anyone's taken a ride out there, but it's a gorgeous project. And, propane is one of our last kind of issues that we got to check the box off. And I'll let Peter from Propane kind of express their opinion on anything. And then we have Stantec to kind of give us how they kind of planned everything and the civil aspect of it.
Would you like me to jump in now, Madam Chair? This is Peter.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yep,
sure.
thank you.
So as he says, two buildings going up. We've got building one. The construction is complete on the outside at least. So as is noted, there'll be 12 tanks. It'll be 2 banks of 6 tanks, each bank feeding one building. So, we've walked through with Chief O'Brien a few different times. We've got our locations settled. We've gone over all protection that we need to. We met with the plumbers, so everything's basically lined up until just normally over 2,000 gallons on a site. We have to go through this meeting process. We've been very successful in other situations where we're having an application for license. A lot of work ahead of time with engineers and the fire department to make sure we have everything set up appropriately. We do quite a bit of work in Lakeville now. Austrian Propane is located out of Bridgewater, so we have, hundreds of customers in town. Have a good relationship with both the town gas inspector and the fire department. And again, we've walked through this numerous times from front to back, and even with some adjustments made to tank locations, we're very comfortable with the setup and just looking forward to getting through this meeting, answer any questions anyone may have. But to Nick's point, propane seemed to be the best fuel opportunity for with no natural gas in the area. So it seemed to be the best way to go for them.
Okay. I think the only other abutters that there was 3 abutters. No one here. Is anyone here in a butter? No. Okay. Chief, could you give us your summary?
Madam Chair, we've, as he said, I've been down on the site and I'm in receipt of plans for where they intend to install the tanks. I've done some code review to see if what the requirements were, and basically it's there isn't anything that's a concern as far as a code violation or deficiency at this time. Part of this process is that they're going to be required to complete our permitting process, and that is our basically that's our leverage to make sure that it's installed properly and per the plan and per fire code. So if the permit isn't issued, the tanks don't get filled and they're not able to use them.
Okay. Does anyone else want to add anything on the project, scope of the project? Okay. Selectman LaCamera, do you have any direct questions for anybody?
No, I'm all set, Madam Chair.
Okay. Okay, so at this point, we have, I have two letters that, two correspondence that I'd like to read into the record. One of the abutters is New Bedford Water Department. And this is from Iman Galati, Tracy White, Y-M-A-N, I think you know that, but she's the superintendent of water for City of New Bedford. She says, to all it may concern, we did receive the attached legal ad regarding the application of Lakeville Island LLC for 57 Long Point Road. The City of New Bedford generally does not support the installation of underground hazardous materials within the watershed and therefore does not suppose the proposed work for the installation of 24,000 gallons of propane gas in the referenced application. Again, signed by Iman Galati, Superintendent of Water. Then we also have correspondence from Robert Bouchard, who is our Lakeville Conservation Agent. And he says, and Tracy, I have copies of these, I think, if you don't have them. He says, at your request, I have reviewed the application for the installation of 12 2,000-gallon underground propane storage tanks. There are two issues that concern the commission. The Island Terrace site is within the buffer zone of wetland areas and therefore subject to Wetlands Protection Act. The commission approved the wetland line previously at a notice of intent hearing. Also, there are two protected zones for public water supplies, Paksha Pond and PWS 41460003-2G. I believe it's a well. And he goes on to say, I contacted Kevin Klein, who I believe is with us, the project engineer at Stantec, for information on the tanks. He provided me with some background information and referred me to James McLaughlin at Mass DEP, Water Supply Division. It is DEP's opinion that since the tanks will contain propane, they do not pose a threat to water quality and gave his approval for the project. I am now in agreement. I was told previously they would not approve, but this was erroneous. First choice is preferable, but not absolute, only a recommendation. I hope this is helpful. And please note, this is my opinion and that the commission has not voted on this recommendation. But he did go through and do some follow-up work on this. So we can put both of these into the record. Does anyone else have anything before we close the hearing? All right, I will entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Hi, it's Tim Wynn. It's Tim Wynn. I just got the meeting invite. Am I too late?
Nope, Tim, we're working on something else right now.
So just go back to hold? Okay.
Yeah, just go back to hold. Okay. All those in favor of closing the hearing?
Aye. LaCamera, aye.
Baby and I. Okay, so we have we had a hearing, we have the hearing closed, we heard some information. Selectman LaCamera, do you have anything that you want to add? Talk about,
I'm all set, Madam Chair.
okay. Me too. So, Tracy, do we have do you want to make a motion, Rich?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the license for 57 Long Point Road, the Lakeville, the owner of the land, the Lakeville Island LLC, and to install 12 underground 2,000-gallon propane tanks.
stepping down, second to the motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Camera eye.
Baby and I. All right, all set. Thank you, everyone, for coming for this hearing.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, council.
All right, so we're going back to the articles for the town meeting, the special town meeting. And we had just finished number 7 under the Community Preservation Act. So we have number 8. So I make a motion to add number 8 to see if the town will vote to reaffirm the vote at the June 13th, 2005 annual town meeting to adopt the town's Community Preservation Committee bylaw as published on the town's website and on file at the office of the town clerk, and by amending section 6 of said bylaw by striking its text and replacing it with the following, or take any other action relative thereto. Section 6, effective date. This bylaw shall take effect upon the town's acceptance of the Community Preservation Act in accordance with the procedures set forth in Chapter 44B of the general laws, and after all requirements of Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 32 have been met.
Second.
Any discussion on this one? All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Fabian, aye. Right. Move on. So we have number, what are we on? 8. So this article, next article would be changed to select board to see if the town will vote to amend the bylaws of the town of Lakeville to change the title of the Board of Selectmen to select board as follows, or take any other action relative thereto. We don't have to read the whole thing, you said, right, Ari?
You can waive it, yeah.
Okay, do you want to waive the rest of the reading, Rich?
Fine.
Do we need to make a motion to waive the rest of the reading, or can we just do it? Okay, I make a motion, we waive the rest of the reading.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Fabian, aye. All right, so do you want to make a motion to put this on, Rich, or not?
I don't have any objection to it at all, okay? I don't care what I'm called. It doesn't make any difference to me. What concerns me is the amount of work that needs to update all of the policies, all the procedures, all the forms, and the wage and personnel plan, all the bylaws and so forth and so on, and all the costs and the amount of hours it's going to take. I'm not sure this is a priority right now with all the other stuff going on. That's my only objection. If we approve it, what's the time frame we have to get it done by is my question, because I don't want to start this project right now because it's just too involved.
Okay, so I'll step down as chair and I make a motion that we do not put this on the town warrant, on the warrant for November 8th.
I mean, we could put it on in the spring. I mean, I guess we'll ask Ari. I don't know how Ari feels about it, but
It's gonna cause, the only caveat I have, and of course, whatever the board wants to call itself, that's the board, it's the board's business, not mine. But the only caveat I have is that it's somewhat timely to do it now with the recodification happening. If you don't do it now, we're gonna have the recodification, that'll happen, then we'll have to go through another process of making the changes to the code with the new name. That will, we'll do whatever we gotta do. I'm just throwing it out there, that's all.
Madam Chair, it's my understanding, and correct, it's a job, the selectman's representative for that.
Yeah.
We have 150 changes to be made on the codification for the bylaws that needs to be approved at town meeting next May. Okay.
Yep.
And I just think, this is my personal opinion, is that there's other changes that need to be made, in these bylaws, whether it's general bylaws or zoning bylaws or whatever. And I just don't want us to get bogged down in all these things that need to be done for this, to change a name from the Board of Selectmen to the Select Board. That's my only concern. I know what my priorities are right now to get done.
Well,
that's my only concern. I have no problem with changing it at all, none whatsoever.
so it's my understanding.
If Ari feels that he wants to do it, I'm okay with it, but I don't want us to jump on it right away. I just don't.
I'm totally agnostic. All I'm telling you is that if you decide you want to do it, we'll get it done. That's all.
My only consideration, honestly, is I thought the way the codification committee selected this was that we were going to bring the changes to town meeting. And it's like all or nothing. We agreed that we were going to present the bylaws as they are amended. And it's almost like they all have to get accepted or none. So I don't want this to be one of the ones that causes the bylaws not to be amended, not to all that other work. That's my biggest, my biggest consideration is if someone feels so strongly about this. I don't know. I don't know. I know this is the way everyone's going.
But there's also costs associated with this.
Right.
Redoing forms, copying new bylaws, copying new policies, a procedure. This is no small task. It isn't. I mean, you agree, Ari, this is no small task?
It would be some work. I don't feel it's an insurmountable amount of work. We'll get it done if you want us to get it done.
Okay. All right, then we'll go ahead and do it.
It's up to you.
All right,
You
it's
make
not
a
up to me, it's up to the board, so.
Well, there's two of us. We can take a vote.
In my mind, I'm not sure if this helps. In my mind, you're putting, if the town meeting were to approve this warrant, we would then do the recodification, have the changes on there, and then we would go through the process of phasing in the change from Board of Selectmen to Select Board, and we can work through a process with that. I think it would take place over some period of months.
Yeah, I think it would.
We'll update them. We can update the policies and so on. I don't think that's going to require a board action to update the policy. It'll be administrative because it'll be term. Okay, so we'll just do that internally. I think it's doable.
Okay. The other question I have too is the way this is written. Does it give us the ability to go through everything and change? Or like, are we going to have to go into each individual act and then change it?
If you look at line 3.
Yep.
Delete the words Board of Selectmen in each place they appear in the town's general zoning bylaws and insert in their place Select Board.
Okay, so something like the Town Administrator Act is considered part of the general bylaws. So that means we can make the change in that as well.
Right. I mean, the town Administrator Act at the state level will exist as it exists. I don't know if that's a particularly. I don't think that's much of a big deal anyway. You probably get the amendment as it is, but
Well, probably because we have this, so, and it will be noted when the change was made in the bylaws.
Right.
Okay,
Oh, if he wants to undertake it, it's fine with me.
I don't know. If you want to make a motion, I'll either second.
I'll make a motion to, what article number are we on here?
It's
Number 9.
nine.
I'll make a motion to see if the town will vote to amend the bylaws of the town of Lakeville to change the title of the Board of Selectmen, Select Board as follows. Take any action there too.
Okay. So I'll second, stepping down to second. Any other discussion?
I'm all set.
All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. All right. So the next one here we have, which would be number 10, is change to Council on Aging membership. So the article would read, to see if the town will vote to amend Lakeville General Bylaws, Chapter 1, Section 27, to change the composition of the Council on Aging from 11-member board with 1 alternative to a 9-member board with 2 alternates as shown below, with additions in bold and deletions in strike through, or take any other action relative thereto.
Madam Chair, I waive the, I make a motion to waive the rest of the language in this proposed article.
I second that. All those in favor of waiving the rest of the reading?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. Okay. My question on this is, I didn't even know this was coming. So is there some history behind this?
We have a letter from the Council on Aging that I believe I shared with all of you that laid out the rationale behind that. I'll be happy to read from that if you like. It was basically a matter of the Council on Aging feeling that this is more effective for them to be able to have their to be able to make their membership. They sent this letter to the board on September 7th. Dear Chairman Fabian and board members, at the September 1st, 2021 Lakeville Council on Aging board meeting, the board unanimously voted to recommend changing the number of COA board members from an 11-person board with 1 alternate to a 9-person board with 2 alternates. This decision was made based upon many reasons, and after discussion on the matter, the board thought they could be more productive and it would also be easier to achieve a quorum, among other reasons. Originally, when it was formed, the COA board consisted of 7 members, was changed over the years to an 11-member board. The COA board reached a decision to propose to you and the Board of Selectmen to move to a 9-person board with 2 alternates. The COA board currently has 9 members and will fill the appropriate positions based on the Board of Selectmen's decision on the matter. Thank you for your time and feel free to let the board know if you have additional questions regarding this recommended change by the COA board. Regards, Deputy Boyadai and the chairman of the COA board.
Okay. Any discussion other than that, Rich?
No, I'm all set.
I mean, I think this is one that we should let the folks of Lakeville decide how many people they want on their Council on Aging board. All those in favor of putting this one on the warrant?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. Okay. Number 11 is the marijuana overlay bylaw. So this, before we start, is a correction, isn't it?
Clarification, the AG, there was a bylaw adopted by the town meeting on June 2nd, 2020 to create the marijuana overlay district. The Attorney General's office suggested the town clarify the uses that will be allowed by right. This does that by adding a sentence saying that all allowed uses and special permit uses in the underlying district shall remain allowed by right or by special permit as designated in section 4.1 table of use regulations.
Okay, so this is just a clarification on something that was already voted on at town meeting, correct?
I basically view it as a tactical correction, yeah.
Okay, so stepping down, I make a motion to waive the reading of the whole article.
Second.
Any discussion on waiving the reading? All those in favor of waiving the reading?
Camera eye.
Baby and I. All right. So I make a motion that we put this on the warrant, this article on the warrant.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. All right. The next one is the earth removal bylaw, and it is quite lengthy.
I make a motion, we waive the reading of the changes, the modifications to the existing earth removal bylaw.
Right, second, discussion on the waiving of the reading. All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. Okay. So we have this earth removal bylaw, that's the article. And a lot of these changes were, well, most of these changes were suggested to us through town council a few years ago, but for one reason or another, we never quite got around to doing it. So we're doing it now.
I have two things. We'll do a tracker that's for the town meeting explains what's being actually changing. And there are two areas that I would recommend the board look at in particular. In section 2, the number for earthwork for threshold for earthwork, we put in there, and this is strictly staff's doing, earthwork involving less than 5,000 square feet of earth in a single calendar year would be exempt. It's entirely the board's call as to what the right number would be in that case, but that is a number that we found is used elsewhere. And then section 3, below after number 9 is a requirement. The board shall conduct a public hearing on the application. I believe the current law, bylaw allows the board to hold to determine whether it wants to hold a public hearing or not. So I just want to put that up for the boards to, in case you decide you want to pursue another direction than requiring a hearing.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I agree with Ari's proposed changes.
Yeah.
Is that the way it's stated now, Ari?
Right now, it says the board shall conduct a public hearing. If you wanted to change to an option, it would be the board may conduct a public hearing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's me.
Yeah, I also, I'm sure there's a good reason why 5,000 was put in there. You guys must have worked on that somehow, right?
Yeah, I believe that's what we found out there.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I'm okay with those changes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so all in, we did the motion. We did the second. All those in favor of adding the earth removal bylaw?
The camera eye.
Baby and I. Okay. All right, so that's it, correct?
Yep. Just give you a quick recap of the schedule coming forward for the town meeting.
Yes, Katie. Katie Goodfellow is with us, town moderator. Thank you, Katie, for staying through all that.
Thank you.
So we just vote on the articles. We'll send the draft warrant to town council for review tomorrow. Plan on final vote on the vote of final warrant on October 12th. The ad will be run in the paper the following week. And the warrant will be posted, and then the warrant review will be October 25th with a special town meeting to be held on the 8th of November.
So warrant review is the 25th, and we'll have the town moderator with us, the finance committee, correct?
Right.
Clerk, town clerk will be there, yes, no? Not
Probably
necessary.
should.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably should.
Yeah.
Okay, and then town meeting is on November 8th. Again, for anyone watching at home, a lot of this stuff, the packet for tonight was posted because there was a lot of information in it for folks at home, so you can peruse it if you want.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
I would also suggest that we have whoever is representing the Community Preservation Act, that they be at the meeting and give us some kind of an overview of what's being proposed, the pros and cons, and what it means to the taxpayers, so they're aware of it before town meeting.
Yep, I agree. That would be great. And that way, if folks have questions between the warrant review and the meeting, they can reach out to them too.
Yep. Okay.
So that would be great. Katie, do you have anything to add? I know that we are aiming for the auditorium at the high school.
Yes,
for
everything
town.
seems to be organized as best we can have it at this point. And I just was going to repeat what Richard said about having someone present to explain what the Community Preservation Act is proposing, because that's something that we might have a lot of questions about. And so anything that we can provide in advance of the meeting would be very helpful for our voters.
Okay. I do believe we're going to be in the auditorium, and we are going to ask that masks be worn, just like our kids have to wear. But it's town meeting. If you're a registered voter in the town of Lakeville, you have a right to come to town meeting and cast your vote on these questions. So please join us on November 8th. All right, anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you for joining us. I wish everyone could go first, but oh, all right. I need to catch up with myself here now. We are on next. We will be on number 4, correct?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Here we go. So number 4, Board of Selectmen announcements. Do we have any announcements, Rich?
I guess the only thing that I'd like to mention is that the Lakeville Arts Council Festival is on, I'm gonna make sure I got the right date. Is it October 2nd?
Yeah,
You know, is it 10 to 2, I think?
10 to 4.
10 to 4, thank you. It's a really great day. I know last year it had to be canceled, and I know that the group has put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it, and I think if everybody has the opportunity to attend, it'd be a great day for you.
I agree. It's always nice. They put a lot of work into it. Some years they have so many crafters. I can't believe the talent of, you know, just people. It's always amazing to see. The only other announcement that I'd like to make, announcement seems kind of formal, but I did this with my own parents. My parents didn't have a real big affiliation with the Council on Aging in the city where they live. And I tried and tried and tried and said, oh, come on, just go, whatever. Well, I signed them up for the newsletter. And they've, especially during COVID, they've gotten a lot out of just reading the newsletter. So you know, it's up to each person how they, you know, interact with their own parents, but I know that our Council on Aging in Lakeville has some phenomenal people working there. Kelly, Cheryl, and Lori are a great staff, and, you know, you would be surprised how many resources there are available for seniors. Everything from, you know, rides, transportation, not COVID times, they do field trips. But it may just be a good, sometimes, you know, people need reminders that these services are out there. Sometimes seniors don't even know, but it might be, even if your parents say you don't want to, they don't want to visit there, sign them up for the newsletter. Might work out really well for them. That's it for me. Ari, I think, is next.
That's me.
That's you.
Okay, couple things. Thank you. The new phone system is up and running, despite a number of setbacks and hiccups. So you seem to be doing pretty well at this point. Had a few small issues here and there, but nothing too substantial lately. And we appreciate the public's patience and the board's patience on getting this thing up and running. It will be good for the town long run. We awarded, we're in the process of awarding our contracts for OPM services, Owners Project Management Services, which will help accelerate the capital program rather substantially. We awarded to 3 firms. We'll be with each one once the contracts have been signed. We have the draft of the ADA assessment from Serpent. Staff has a meeting to discuss that with Serpent on the 29th. There'll be subsequent briefing with the board as well. Waiting to hear from the federal government on final rules for ARPA so we can figure out what we're doing there. As you know, the town's due to get quite a bit of money, but we don't want to make any decisions before we know what the rules are going to be, and we're waiting for the final rule. We are making some good progress on recruitments. As you know, the treasurer is starting in October. Thank you for that special meeting. We are making progress, we believe, on the planner and HR director. Hopefully we'll have something to announce on that fairly soon as well. And that's all I have. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. So Tim, are you still with us?
I am.
You are. Okay. So Mr. Nguyen is here with us for agenda item number 13. Is everyone okay if we take this out of order? So I've explained to Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen that the Board of Selectmen don't really, so this is agenda item number 13, request from Planning Board for review of the subdivision definitive plan 6 lots at 162 Bedford Street. So I've tried to explain a little bit about how it works. So can I call you Tim, or do I have to call you Mr. Nguyen?
No, Tim's good.
Okay.
Tim works just fine.
So, the planning board typically sends us, changes or new construction, and we give our recommendation. The Board of Selectmen themselves don't have a vote really in whether these projects get approved. Sometimes there's a water connection vote later on, but so tonight we have this on our agenda in case we have any comments or concerns. But I do know that you have some concerns with not being able to get information from town hall. And that's why when I spoke to your wife earlier today, if we were in person, people can use the chat feature, but if you were in person, you'd be able to come to a meeting. So I just wanted to, give you an opportunity to just express your concerns about not being able to get some information from us.
Yeah, I mean, I received a letter in the mail from, I believe it was Prime Engineering.
Yep.
And in the letter, it said that they were going to have a conservation meeting and to call the conservation number at the town hall, which I believe is 4823 or something. And I called maybe 2 weeks straight and I got ring, no answer, ring, no answer, ring, no answer, and no voicemail at all. So I had called over to Prime Engineering and asked them for a copy of this because they said I could receive one. I got a copy of some plans that are coming off of Bedford Street. It doesn't look like 162. It looks like it's coming on the other side of one of the houses over there. And they sent me the plans, and I kept trying to get a hold of the Conservation Commission to find out when this meeting is, because usually if you're going to notify someone, wouldn't you notify them the time and date of a meeting, not just we're going to have one indefinitely in the future, which I didn't think was very professional. So I didn't know anything about it till Leah sent something over to my wife. And then in the meantime, I believe Bob had called me back from the Conservation Commission today. He must have got word from someone that I was looking for him because I left a message over at the building department and talked to Leah. So he called me and he said that they already had the meeting. So I said, well, how did I get notified? And he said, well, we put it in the paper, which I haven't bought in 10 years. And that's it. I guess I get notified saying that you're going to have a meeting, and I get left with a phone number that rings no answer for 2 weeks straight. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Madam
So
Chair?
Yep,
So we looked into the phone situation, and I really sincerely apologize to Mr. Nguyen. This was part of that phone system issue that we just talked about a few minutes ago. We discovered today that phone should have been forwarded to another desk, which is where it's supposed to go. And when the setup happened, the vendor did not do that. So it's just ringing through to the Conservation Commission office, which of course, as you know, is not occupied that often. So,
okay, now how about the certified letter that did not have a time and date on it that said we're going to have a meeting at the police station in a certain room with no time and date?
I
Is
can't
that how
speak-
I'm supposed
yeah.
to get notice?
No, and I can't speak to that, sir. I'm sorry. I was just trying to explain what I learned about the phone situation. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, seriously, for 2 weeks straight, someone should have been able to notify someone that you can't leave a voicemail. Ring no answer is unacceptable, especially when there's renovations going on and the office is being done.
Right.
Someone should have fixed it prior to that. I mean, to
Yeah,
me, if I ran a business that way, it wouldn't be very good.
So I can tell you that in talking to at least one conservation agent, I guess the Conservation Commission had 100 and something pages of comments, questions, concerns that they've sent out for peer review. So they definitely haven't made a decision. I can't change the past, but I can certainly make sure going forward, Tim, that, you know, and again, the change.
That's all right. That's all right. He
Yeah.
wants to come over and he wants me to walk him through it. That's fine. I just didn't
Yeah.
know when you're saying the public and the abutters have the right to get notified. I did not get notified on this meeting at all. This
Yeah.
was a Conservation Commission meeting that happened. This meeting, I had no idea till Leah sent something over to my wife.
Yep.
I had no idea that it was going on. I mean, that's not cool though. I mean, seriously, if you're going to hide it and saying I put it in the Middleborough paper and no one's buying papers these days, it's just, I don't know. I mean, how hard is it to say we have an appointment on a certain date at a time, and if you have any concerns, to show up and voice your opinion?
Yeah.
And I get something from Prime Engineering that says we're going to have one, but no date, no time. I just find that unacceptable. And if you guys find that acceptable, to me, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so that was the reason why, you know, I felt it was kind of important for you to, you know, to join us so that we can, you know, Ari Sky is our new town administrator. He's been here 4 months. We have Christina Kutsurides with us too. She's the assistant. Tracy is actually the selectman's administrative assistant. So, you know, these are the kinds of things that, you know, we'd like Ari to look at going forward, just internal processes. So that's why it was actually, you know, and I know I saw the letter that you did receive and I thought it was kind of vague too. So I just wanted to let you know that I can't change the past, but I wanted to give you the update that the Conservation Commission definitely had a lot of questions. So they sent 150 pages or something to for peer review, which means the other engineers, the town, working on the town's behalf, will take a look at the project. And just to let you know that certainly you will get your certified letter to go to the planning board meeting and the next conservation meeting. Because as like I said, as far as the selectmen are concerned, we really don't vote yay or nay on this. They just ask us our opinion. Yeah. Yep. So, and I just wanted to.
That's fine.
Yep. So,
so do you think my next letter that comes from the planning board or the conservation or the prime engineering people, do you think they will include a time and date of a meeting instead of just a form letter saying, hey, I'm notifying you, and then have a meeting without me knowing about it? I just didn't find that professional.
Yeah, I think they should. They should be, right? Tracy, do you know?
The abutters notice doesn't require, right, Tracy, the dates. I don't think it ever.
The town does not send out the abutters notifications. Those come from the individual engineers, and there is a form that they are required to use, and that is the form. And believe it or not, they are not required to put the date and time on the notice.
So how am I as a citizen supposed to find out when it's happening?
Unfortunately, with the problem with the Conservation Commission phone, but traditionally people would be able to call the conservation office and get that information. It was just very unfortunate that we just discovered that that line was not being forwarded as
Yeah.
requested.
I would say that I have been conversing with Mr. Knox, the chairman of the planning board. I had exchanged a couple texts with him tonight as well. He told me that the applicant is speaking to an attorney. He expects a major revision. His recommendation is the board take no action on this proposal at this time.
Yeah. So I don't even think we're going to be discussing this in the near future, but,
Yeah.
but, and Tim, the phone change.
That's fine.
Yeah, the phone change that we're talking about wasn't just like, you know, a new carrier or whatever. We went from landlines to voice over IP. So it was a mega change with the, it's not an excuse, absolutely, but.
No, that's fine. That's what I do for a living, so I understand how it works.
Yeah.
We're making, there's a work order to make the correction right now, Mr. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please call my office directly, which is 946-8803.
Yeah, so.
No, I appreciate it. I talked to the, today I was able to talk to a conservation commissioner.
Yeah.
And he wants to actually come over and meet with me and take a walk and get some background information on, you know, what's going on over there and what's been going on over there, and actually see with his own eyes. So I think I told him that I would get back to him and let him know how tonight's call went, and set something up to meet with him.
Feel free to call me, sir, if you have any, you know, further concerns about the process.
Yeah.
Leah, could you send me his information?
I will. Yep, I will. Yep,
I'm just
absolutely.
in my car and don't have anything to write on.
Yeah.
So
No, I appreciate you being patient too. We just had a hearing
that's
and
fine.
everything. Yep. All right.
I
So
just figured it would be a smart thing to actually put a time and a date on something that you're discussing that's going to affect something. And if that's the laws, maybe you guys should work on adding time and date to that form.
I
mean, just a recommendation.
Yeah. Yep.
Just a recommendation.
I agree with him.
I do
I've
agree with
complained
him,
about
but
this for a while. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm looking at the agenda of the planning board back on September 9th. And they discussed setting a hearing date for 162 Bedford Street. So what's that date?
Right.
That's
I
all.
think
That's
you
all
know
I
what
got.
that date is.
No,
Yeah.
but could you imagine if it was something that I could speak out on, or I was in opposition to or for, that I wasn't able to know when the meeting was? And that's kind of what
Well,
I feel. And I just feel
Yeah.
there was something kind of sinister going on. Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want people there
The
speaking
planning,
up for what's going on in your town?
the
Yeah.
planning board meeting is more important. And I don't want to slight the Conservation Commission, but the planning board is the one that's going to review all the plans and the subdivision and everything, you know, associated with it. So, and as Leah pointed
I just want
out,
to make sure I'm in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So
no,
if
I understand. I want to be in the middle. I want to be in the middle too. Okay. And you know, that, you know, we found out today, because we asked, you know, that we didn't have all the information, you know, associated with the subdivision. So as Leah is pointing out, and as Ari is pointing out, we're not going to make any comments on it unless we have a full set of package to review.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
but
not trying
I
to make-
appreciate
I'm not
your
trying to
time.
make
I appreciate
excuses
your
for
time.
anybody, but
Yep.
I'm
And you know
I
what?
just want to know.
No,
Yep.
you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely right.
For future reference, even if meetings are on Zoom, and I know it's hard because we're all busy and everything, but the chairs and LakeCAM too, LakeCAM's been fantastic through the whole COVID at, you know, if the chair is busy running the meeting, that they let them know that there's comments in the comment section. So we're really trying, and, you know, Board of Selectmen is still meeting, you know, via Zoom, because we do have other boards that have to meet with people who are using, you know, we're trying to still stay, you know, it's not easy, but I just wanted you to be able.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
I just
understand.
wanted you to be able to voice your concern. And I think right now, Rich and I need to move along and make this final, because I definitely want to tell the planning board that, you know, I personally don't have enough information on this. And I know that, you know, Ari, who is the town administrator, has indicated that there's going to be a plan revision. So you will definitely, you're on my list. So I'll make
All right,
sure that
perfect. And
you
if I
know.
could just get the contact, yeah, if I could just get their contact information
Yep,
from you.
I will.
That would be
Yeah,
great because
I'll send it
like I said, I
along.
don't have
Yep.
a pen right now.
Yep, no, I'll
All
send
right,
it
thank you,
along.
everybody,
Okay,
so
yeah,
much.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks, everybody,
thanks.
so much for your time.
Yeah,
Okay,
All right,
okay.
bye.
thank you.
So, Rich, I don't know if that's what your takeaway was too, but I had more questions on this than I had answers, so I'm in no way prepared to, you know, make any comments or questions, whatever, right now.
Well, I mean, absolutely not. I mean, if there's major revisions to this plan,
No,
it shouldn't be here.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
It shouldn't be here.
that was my point to Mark last week. I mean, I don't know why we were sent this yet, other than they had to do it out of process, I suppose, but it wasn't
Yep.
prime time.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, okay, so that's that. So let's go back to our regular numerical order, number 7.
Yeah.
So I know there's been a little bit of talk about Ari saying it's going to be a little bit of a different budget process. So I was hoping that by putting this on as an agenda item, as he is very thorough and often does, he's provided us with a tentative schedule, which I think will, you know, help the selectmen.
Awesome.
I can hear you. Uh-oh, is he frozen? Are you frozen? Nope.
You just lose your video?
Nope. You did? We can see you.
I can't see him. It's frozen on my end.
Yeah.
Frozen
I
on my
think-
end too.
Yeah, I think Tracy and Ari are frozen, so they're probably at town hall. Well, Christina, you were going to give us an update, weren't you?
I was on item number 10, though, if you want to jump ahead.
Yeah, let's do that. We can do that.
Sure. So the town currently pays a rental fee for one of the 4 storage pods that are located in the rear parking lot of Town Hall, and which contain surplus furniture. The pictures for which were provided in your packet.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
We lost our connection here at Town Hall, so we've missed like a lot.
Yeah, actually, we just went to item 10. That's it.
We didn't hear
Yeah, we
anything.
just-
before
we just-
item 7.
Yeah, it took us a couple of seconds to figure out you were gone, so we're just starting item 10.
Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to keep up here.
Yeah, just
What
starting
did you do
item
with
10.
8 and 9? What did you do with 8 and 9?
We
Nothing.
didn't finish. We weren't sure how long you would be gone, so I just had Christina start item 10.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
So in order to terminate the rental agreement and save what we think is going to be an estimated $960 a year, the contents of that pod needs to be declared surplus and either sold or discarded. This is, as you know, it's part of a larger initiative to identify some cost savings, utilize the storage space that we have in Town Hall more efficiently, and reform our current record retention system. We've been conducting an internal review of the process of the files stored in the basement and the attic of Town Hall to determine the best organizational solution for the documents that we are statutorily required to keep. We've solicited the assistance of a small company here in Massachusetts to come in and assess our archive and provide some recommendations for cataloging and protecting it. That assessment is being paid for by the Community Compact grant that we received with Freetown a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And we've made arrangements to have the contents of one of those 4 storage pods, which contain documents that have already been certified by the Secretary of State's office for destruction, to be removed this Friday. After which we will need to relocate some of the file cabinets that are in that pod, but then we can move that pod, which the town owns, to DPW, which Frank said he wants. So the item before us tonight is to discuss surplusing the contents of one of the other pods so that we can get rid of it and stop paying the rental agreement on it.
Okay, so we just need to declare them surplus. Do we need to declare whether we want them to be auctioned off or discarded? Or
No,
we just-
under the tangible property provisions in general law, you just have to declare the surplus after that, the process.
Okay,
goes on.
so I will step down and I will make a motion that we declare the following furniture and equipment as surplus. 1 wooden round table with metal base, 1 wooden conference table, 1 farmhouse kitchen table, 4 farmhouse chairs, 2 wooden stained captain style chairs, 2 beige tufted chairs, 2 floral print wooden framed chairs, 4 black foam and metal office chairs, 4 olive colored faux leather chairs, 1 small schoolhouse chair, 9 worn stained cranberry cushion chairs, 1 small deacon's bench, 2 L-shaped 5-drawer desks, 1 beige 4-drawer, 1 file cabinet that is beige and it's a 4-drawer cabinet.
I'll second that motion.
All right. The only discussion that I have is where it says 1 small schoolhouse chair. If we can just make sure none of it is an antique, maybe our historic folks can help us out with that.
Sure.
Sometimes those are, you know, I mean, I can see the pictures, but I'm no expert.
Yeah.
Nothing else really looks antique, but that schoolhouse chair. Sometimes those are,
Maybe the deacon bench,
yeah.
But yes, I understand. Yes, ma'am, we'll look at that.
Yeah. All right, anything, Rich? All those in favor?
Camera, aye.
Baby and I. All right, so back to Ari with the review of the budget process.
We'll find out if it's me talking that causes the system to crash as opposed to, So we are looking at some changes in the budget process this year, all very much consistent with the bylaws and actually really designed to enhance transparency and get a better product to the board so you can do what you need to do to consider the budget. We're going to have a budget kickoff in November, early November, and we'll be coming to the board on November 22nd, assuming that meeting holds, to give a brief overview of where we think the budget's heading for this year, and just get some guidance in terms of overall objectives. Internally, operating and capital budget submissions will be due on December 6th, and that applies to everybody, both departments and commissions. So we're going to try to apply that across the board. In mid-January, we'll complete our revenue budget. That's after the governor presents his budget. We want to have H1 in there. And then late January, the 24th, we're looking at presenting the proposed budget to the board and providing our overview. After that, the process pretty much looks the way you've seen it with your reviews through the month of February. Submission deadline for articles mid-March. Hopefully the school districts move their budgets forward. I have already reached out some degree to both Old Colony and Freetown Lakeville and explained to them, trying to underscore the importance of getting data, and I'll continue that dialogue. Hopefully that'll bear fruit. And then we'll go to the Finance Committee in March and finalize the budget in mid-April and go to town meeting on Monday, May 9th.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at right now.
Okay. Rich, questions, comments?
Fine.
Okay.
I'm glad we're starting a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
than normal, because especially in the capital items, we had some challenges last year getting the capital plan together, and I don't want to see us get into February and find out we have the same problems. That's all.
So the budget process is kind of a journey as opposed to an end state. But we are going to look at a number of things over the course of the next several years that'll improve the transparency of the budget, the information you receive, the management information you receive, and in general, make it more approachable for the public as well.
I mean,
Great.
just, having a nice calendar here, a proposed calendar just seems so organized. So much appreciation for that.
Great.
Right. Any other questions, Rich, on that? No?
No, I'm all set. Thanks.
Okay. Agenda item number 8. Review and possible vote to approve revised job description for the assistant town clerk. Holy cow, was there changes?
A lot of changes, yes.
Yeah, I do know that the clerk, the job description hasn't been amended in a few years. And, you know, for anyone that's wondering why I'm saying, holy cow, there's so many changes, let's not forget with all the early voting and in-person early voting and mail and everything, we had to accommodate a lot of these changes in here. Let me just make sure. I don't know if you have any questions, Rich.
No, you know, I understand, you know, Lillian, the town clerk, is very, very thorough and, which is fine.
Yep.
The only thing that makes me a little nervous is that, you know, some of the qualifications and the experience, I don't know how, you know, I know we've said this before, that we're concerned about, you know, some of the qualifications of people that we recently hired, but quite frankly, we didn't have a problem at all, which kind of surprised me in a way. And so we got some great people. But, you know, this is, you know, assistant town clerk, and I don't think, and I could be completely wrong, but I don't think there's tons of people out there, you know, with all these requirements, qualifications. That would be my own concern. I did discuss it with Lillian, and she understands that. And I said the best we can do is give it a try.
Yep, I agree.
So I'll make a motion. We approve the revised job description for the assistant town clerk.
Second, any other discussion? All those in,
I'm all set. Ari, you all set with this?
you all
Yes,
set
sir.
with this, Ari? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And all those in favor?
LaCamera, aye.
Fabian, aye. All right. So agenda item number 9. So Ari, maybe you can break this one down for us. It's basically an extension of a contract.
Right.
But I just, you know, I just kind of wanted us to review this.
Yeah, this is the town's contract with Jason Gas. Under the new procurement law policy, I have the authority to sign contracts for the board. But given that this was a contract that was negotiated and awarded prior to that new policy taking effect, we thought best to bring it to you. This would be the last year of the 3-year contract. So we'll have to go to RFP after this.
Okay. So this is a 1-year contract extension for propane, gas, and fuel oil services. In 2019, the town went out to bid for propane, gas, and fuel oil services and maintenance services. The contract included 2 1-year extensions. So this is the last extension. So I make a motion that we approve this extension and authorize the town administrator to sign on our behalf. Number 2, fuel oil, year 3 delivery fee, 0.193. Other fees, 0. Total price per gallon, 0.193. Preventative maintenance service rates, year number 3 of the contract. Price per hour weekly service, $105. Price per hour night hours, $125. Price per hour weekends, $135. Propane gas, the year 3 rates are delivery fee per gallon, 43 cents, 0 in other fees. Total price per gallon, 0.43 cents. Preventative maintenance service rates, year number 3, price per hour, weekday service, $98 per hour.
Second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
LaCamera, aye.
Fabian, aye. All right. So next we have agenda item number 11. So I know folks will recall me asking for some kind of fee structure that we can charge for races, because I've said many times that our DPW does an exceptional job of going out and just cleaning the roads before races, cleaning them after the races. So Ari, can you explain this to us?
Yeah, so I'm very pleased to present this to you. This has been a little while coming. We worked very closely with town council. We put together a working group consisted of myself, the directors of public works and inspection services, as well as the police and fire chiefs, and conducted an inventory of activities that incurred by the town when allowing events on public streets. The township application establishes a standard for consideration of private event requests on public rights of way. The ultimate objective is to ensure adequate review so we don't have surprises. You'll see the checkoffs for the proper reviews from the different agencies, as well as to establish a baseline fee structure for these events as well. It's important to note that this fee that's talked about here, the license fee, is in addition to things such as police details, fire coverage, and things like that. So it's not, it doesn't make up, it doesn't eliminate that. We understood the desire to have a different approach for nonprofits as opposed to organizations that are doing this on a profit basis. So this is kind of a straw man. We put out a $500 fee for applicants and $250 for nonprofits that provided proof of legal status. But of course, that's really up to the board to decide on how you want to do that. And as I mentioned earlier, additional charges for police details and EMS coverage will apply. If you look at the form itself, you'll see there's a lot of room to kind of get into what the project is about. We have sign-off reviews required by Public Works, Inspection Services, Police, Fire, Town Administration, and then the Board of Selectmen, and of course, MassDOT. Also very important that I note is that we're requiring all requests to be submitted no less than 60 days before the event, because we don't want to end up with a situation, for example, something like we have tonight, which is an event that we don't have everything in, and the event's going to take place before the next board meeting. Under this program, the plan would be that for that not to happen. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, and go from there.
Okay, Rich, do you have any questions?
The only question which I talked to Ari about today, I just want to make sure that we have the opportunity to waive the fee for the nonprofit organizations if we have a small organization that's doing some event that, with a small number of people. So that's all I asked, and he said that we could do that.
What I'll do is I'll amend the instructions to say that if you're an organization that feels that you should be exempt from the fee, from any fees, that they'll be handled on a case by case basis.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. That was like my biggest concern, because sometimes we've had just, some small races where people have done things and, they mostly stick to a subdivision, but they may go out onto the main road. It's, a handful of people. So in those cases, especially if they're donating all their proceeds to somewhere else, like a cancer fund or whatever it is, I'd like to be able to waive the fee for them. So I will step down and make a motion that we approve this town right-of-way use form with that amendment, waiving the selectmen ability to waive the fee for nonprofit with proper identification.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
The camera eye.
Baby and I, and Ari, it goes without saying, I know how many hours went into this. You make it look like a great little document, but I know you've spent hours on it, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so number 12, we have review and a possible vote to approve an application from Mahatma Sang Corporation doing business as Lakeville Liquors and Market for pledge of collateral in regards to the retail all alcoholic beverages package store license for the property located at 330 Bedford Street. Oftentimes, liquor stores will put up their license so that they can, as collateral, and they've asked us to do this. The motion, I make a motion to approve the pledge of license for Mahat and Nisang Corporation doing business as Lakeville Liquors and Market for the property located at 330 Bedford Street, Lakeville, Mass. Did I do that right, Tracy?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
the camera, aye.
Baby and I. Number 14, possible discussion and possible vote to approve a request from Stingray City Realty Corporation to connect to Taunton Water at 155 Rhode Island Road. We've
So
received,
moved.
thank you. Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Camera, aye.
Baby and I. Same thing. No, not, wait a minute. Did I miss one?
Oh, you're good.
Okay, no, we have the funeral home one.
Right, yes, next one.
Yeah, okay. Same thing. Make a motion that we accept, that we approve the water connection for Lakeville Funeral Homes Realty Trust to connect to Taunton Water at 17 Main Street.
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. Now we have a request for a one-day beer and wine liquor license on October 9th, 2021 at 202 Main Street for their Harvest Festival. This is for Elliott Farms LLC. We have received a certificate of insurance from them. So I'll entertain a motion to approve this one-day liquor license.
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. So agenda item number 17. I make a recommendation that we table this, Rich. It's a race and Tracy has done a good job of reaching out to these folks, but they haven't been able to provide us with information. So we know they want to come through our town, but we don't have anything. So do we need to vote to table or can we just table?
You just need to vote to table.
Okay. So pretty much, Rich, I know you were away. I don't know if you had a chance to discuss this, but they're coming through the town. Tracy told them that, they're using state streets. They need a DOT parade permit and we haven't heard anything back. So we weren't sure if we were going to get it or not. So I added it to the agenda, but we still don't have it. So I make a motion to table.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. We have a letter from Jesse Medford saying that he, effective immediately, I would like to resign from the Lakeville Open Space Committee. I had announced this plan at the beginning of the year and stated that I wouldn't be renewing in the summer or swearing in. So this is his letter. So I make a motion, we accept the resignation letter from Jesse Medford from Open Space Committee.
I'll second the motion and thank Jesse for serving.
Yep. I want to say the same. I think he did a pretty good job at Clear Pond too this year, but I know he's starting a career, but I really appreciate all the time that he's put in on the Open Space Committee. So all those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Baby and I. So these selectmen's minutes, I don't think Rich was here on September 10th. So we'll table this, Tracy, and do it when Lorraine comes back.
Yep.
Okay. New business. New business going once, new business going twice. Anyone? Tracy? Christina?
Nope.
All right. Old business. I believe we're putting together a public meeting for the MVP grant stuff for the water. It's supposed to be 9/28 next week. But but I didn't do it under announcements because we're still putting it together. So if anyone is interested, please stay tuned to the website. And it will have all the information on there once everything is determined. It's supposed to be next week, but not everything is set in stone yet. That's all I have for old business, I think.
I'm all set, Madam Chair.
Okay, Ari?
I'm fine, Madam Chair.
All right. Any other business that can come before the Board of Selectmen? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, I second. Yes, second. Any discussion?
No,
You're too fast for me, Rich. I get flustered.
You guys are too fast for me tonight.
well, it's being recorded.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Oh,
I know,
good. Don't worry,
thankfully.
you're fine. It's fine.
All right, so I think we're good. All those in favor of adjourning? Me, Leah Fabian.
The camera eye.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry I was late.
Good night.